Yes, guys. Hello and welcome back to the Natural Physique podcast. There's only two of us today. It's myself and Josh. Noah is in Denmark, and Matt is he's on posing calls, I believe, which is good. He's busy doing what he should be doing. So it's just us two because we thought we'd do an episode, and then I had the idea of basically just going down memory lane with Josh and his contest prep because obviously it's been what's it been like 15 months or
Yeah.
so since you finished that prep, and obviously it was his first prep. It was a really successful prep. um and a lot of people will obviously have maybe found your content from that and know you from that. um I think as well for a lot of the clients on the Natural Physique Hub, like watching this, it'll be good for them to see like what it actually takes to get into the condition that you got into, to hold yourself to the standards that you did within your training. How much, like even like things like how much did it cost with all the traveling and that kind of stuff. Mentality around the prep, funny stories, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna go back all the way to when Josh was born, basically.
Yeah.
Well, at least when Josh
Not
Seafit
the
was
age of
born,
like 2 years
but
old.
it's not him anymore. It's not Josh Seafit anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, I spent 10 minutes scrolling all the way down to to the bottom of Josh's Instagram, and here we are. And to be fair, I was actually quite surprised. The first photo, he looks quite good.
Yeah.
So give us an insight into this, mate. He's actually written the. You can read it out if you want.
Yeah. Hi everyone, I am Josh. I am a fitness journey. Sorry, I'm a fitness personal
I am a
trainer on
fitness
a journey.
journey.
I am a fitness journey. Sorry, I can't see the writing because you're renaming the way. There we go. Yeah, I am 17 year old. No, like this was a while after starting with my first coach, and I kind of decided to take things like a little bit more serious because I was just doing my own training, posting daft stuff on TikTok, like having a bit of a giggle with it. But I was like, I'd kind of like to take it a little bit more seriously. And this was after a 4 week mini cut where I lost 8 kg. And that's when I realized that it's definitely a lot easier for me to pull off weight than it is to gain weight. But yeah, this was after that first kind of initial mini cut. Realized that I actually looked like half decent. You'll see there, big fatty on the left going to that post.
Quite big there.
Yeah, I was 75 kg there, rather soft. Look at my legs on the right; those are some good legs. So yeah, I didn't look, I did not look phenomenal there from the lower body
Yeah,
standpoint.
so that was a
But
4 week tidy up.
yeah, my legs, you know, they had been injured for a while. My quads were pretty ghost. It was like tendinopathy, so I couldn't really do a great deal. And then turns out my arms were actually bigger than my legs as I dieted down, which was brilliant. But yeah, I'd been training for what would that have been? What's the date on that? October 2021.
Yeah.
I've been training for a year and a half then. And then clearly the rate of progressions just went to shit. Some big RDLs here. Big RDLs. What's that?
Well, we got
90.
90 kilos.
To be fair, the next slides, go on to the next slides. Oh, there we go. 120 kg. Uh, yeah, mate, I was
With
putting
the belt as well.
straight value out there.
Stripping
Back
weights back to
in
improve form.
2021. Yeah, with a wee tick mark on it.
Mate, if we were to go back on my Instagram, it'd be crazy. Like go all the way
Yours
back.
is just you kind of like slightly rotated mirror
Me
pick.
in a towel.
Sunbed warrior. Yeah. Bachelor.
No, there was a lot of value
In
though.
the toilet.
There was a lot of value.
Look at my legs if you go up. Look at those there. We crunch over to the side. Look at legs top right.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Brilliant. Sorry, I can't see you, buddy.
Your upper body looks pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, like my legs, some people think they're like shit right now, but geez, oh, look at them back
Yeah,
then.
they're a lot better.
Right.
I'm the same, mate. Mine were worse than this. I've got photos of me playing football where literally my calf is bigger than my quad. It's like my
Yeah,
leg
it's
goes in at the
crazy.
top.
Yeah. I was looking back.
Um,
I got a Snapchat memory today from 4 years ago, making my protein pancakes. So it has been a good while actually since I started training, nearly 5 years now, because it was March 2020 when that first lockdown hit. So I trained just in my house with like a barbell, some dumbbells, so on and so forth. Gyms opened back up September that year, kind of open, shut, open, shut. Then started with Cruz, my first coach, in I want to say like summer of 2021. Then started with yourself summer of 2022, I think. Look at the knee flexion on that bad boy and a band
and
as
the
well.
and the reverse band, yeah.
That was like a bungee jump, that band. I
Your
remember
knees, your knees are
down here.
your knees are like
Yeah.
this.
It's absolutely perfect. That my feet are just about off the top of the pads. If anyone's watching that doesn't see the what's wrong with this, put your feet lower down, get more knee flexion.
It's
I
not
think it helps.
actually, it's not as bad as you're making out, but yeah, your knees are behind your heels almost all the way through.
Yeah,
They actually
exactly.
are. They don't go ahead of your heels.
Look by his tattoo squat.
Yeah. Right. So let's find where we started.
Oh, there's me peak off season down there. You see him?
There.
All right, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm trying to find like the first photo that I remember of you. Gonna say,
Yeah,
yeah, this must have been because I remember getting you to take your photos from lower, and then you literally put it on the floor, and I was like, that's a bit too low.
I remember that one there with me doing like the chest press. Yeah, that was me exciting news. I'm going to be competing. I posted that thinking there's probably like a 50% chance that I could beat, or like a very little chance that I can beat realistically. I was like, I'm just going to put it out there because if I put it out there and say that I'm going to do it, I'm going to fucking do it realistically. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it is crazy because even there, like, you look decent, but you wouldn't have thought that that's a guy that's going to be winning overalls and stuff, would you?
yeah. Which is the cool thing about bodybuilding. You don't realize like what's there until you actually nail down your stuff and do it
Yeah, until
consistently
you
for a
properly
while. Then
commit.
you, yeah. Then I started wearing Gasp. Look at that. That's where it all began. Up top left. Left now. Yeah. My gas joggies on. I thought I was the man.
Pretty good
So
there,
it's
mate.
everything there.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'd obviously been. So it was around. I don't know the exact date that we started. To be fair, I said I was going to get your sheets up, didn't I? Um, so I will do.
June 2020,
Um,
I think. May or June. May, April. April, May. Yeah, yeah, May or June. I think so.
Let me just get them up. You carry on, mate. You t tell us about why you started with me and what your thoughts were in terms of like when we got started.
Yeah, so when I started with you, there was a big difference with my previous coach because I was pretty pally with him as well. Like, he wouldn't pull me up too much on things when they weren't on the ball. Then I started with yourself. And there was a lot to improve upon, a lot from the training standpoint, a lot from just overall consistency in general. Like, mind I went to Zanti, and then it took me literally like 5 weeks to get back into routine just because I felt shit. And instead of just sticking to the plan, I just kind of done what my emotions told me, and I had low energy, this and that. And you were like, "Come on, you need to be better." And I was like, I remember I put up a story saying like, I've been off track for a few weeks, but it happens back to it. I was like, no, it doesn't happen. You've just been a tit. So that's when I kind of decided I was like, right, I'm just gonna, stop moaning about this stuff and just crack on with it. Started to make a lot more progress at that point, and then really pushed training a little bit further towards the back end of 2022. Ran into a lot of digestion issues, as I always kind of have. I remember that for like a month back into 2022. Going into 2023, felt good. Everything was in good position. February, it can't be in 26th of February 2022, the start date.
It was. I wouldn't
No,
make it up.
going to the data collection sheets 1 through to 1 through to 34. It's not February. I'm so confident of that. Yeah, June. Oh, Finn Kelly doesn't do his Google Sheets right. Don't sign up with him. No, you already signed up.
Why is that?
Mistake. Terrible.
Where have I got that from then?
I don't know where that's from. But yeah, like June 2022, going into 2023, that's when Nor and I had a trip to see you. Learned to train a little bit harder. Told you that I'd not been training abs, and you just about, battered me. But
And
fair
you know what
enough.
it is? Sorry,
Mhm.
it's because you know when it does it as like an American date. So I'll have put the 26th of June or something, maybe the 20th of the 6th, and it's done that, I
Or
think.
the second of the 26 months, and it's
Well,
saying,
it was the 20th of the 6th.
all right, okay,
So if I've put like 26, something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. You've been exposed. Terrible.
I don't know why it was that. Anyway, it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah,
So 20th
so
of June,
I started, what body weight did I start at? Yeah, I mean, I
73.
started at 73 and then started prep at 73 as well. Like, my body weight stayed relatively similar because it did go up the way, like towards back end of the year, but again, digestion
This was
issues.
good, mate.
Yeah, that's perfect. This is what I'm saying. That would have been Zanny, I reckon. Does it say anything there? Going to the dates?
Ill as fuck. Struggling to
That
get
was
anything.
fuck, yeah. Mate, I got snaked an absolute belter off my mate. We both worked in Curry's at the time, and he was on the holiday with me. And I came back, he came back. We were both supposed to go into work, and he's saying that he's too ill to go into work. I was on my deathbed at that point. I was absolutely dying. I was like a zombie. Worked like a 48-hour week while he was out that weekend. So I had to do all his work for him and work cover all his shifts. Turns out he was absolutely sound just out at the weekend. That made me even more ill. To be fair, I was pretty cooked at that point. That's why, I'm putting my guards up there. But yeah, like I was very inconsistent with everything at that point. Sleep, how did I do that? How did I do that with sleep? Look at the sleep up there. I don't know how like I felt sound. 6 hours 45, 5 hours 30, 6 hours, 5 hours 10. Just no routine. Like simple as
Yeah, it
that.
wasn't great, was it?
Yeah, just stay up super late, wake up random times throughout the day. Um again then
Unwell, unwell, very unwell.
it's literally always been that way. Like I had no real stresses at that point or anything. Like just yeah, I'm always pretty cooked in that sense. But
Yeah.
prep actually went really well. Like, I was
18th
very
birthday
drunk,
party, very drunk.
hungover to fuck. Yeah. That was
Mate,
the first
the
time I
the
drank.
rise from then, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's not been bad, has it?
But to be fair, like during those kind of weeks and the check-ins, what do you remember them being like?
My memory ain't that good, sadly.
But I was gonna say, like, I don't ever remember being like, I was never shouting at you and being like, mate, this is not fucking good enough. I'd tell you as it is and be like, look, mate, you're 18. You're gonna have a few drinks. It's fine. Like, you only turn 18 once. Like, that's cool. But then it was like when, like you say, when it was like 3, 4 weeks after Zanti and you're still moaning, it's like, no, you just need to sort it out now. Like, there's a line where, fair enough, the first few days after you've been on a lad's holiday, I'm pretty sure we were saying like you had like the holiday blues and you felt a bit down after it. And I was like, yeah, that's normal, mate. You're going to feel like that. You've just been on a great lad's holiday. You're young and it's really fun. You get back to normality. You're going back to curries. You don't want to be doing that. But what you're going to do, feel sorry for yourself for the rest of your life because you can't keep doing those things or feel sorry for yourself for the next month, which is what you were doing. You were just sort of using it as an excuse, as a crutch to not basically do the basics
Also
well.
didn't
And
have as much like responsibility at that point as well, and like responsibilities in general. Like I could wake
yeah,
up whenever I wanted and it wouldn't really impact me too much. Whereas right now I'm kind of forced to get up at certain times to do this, to do that, because I have all you lovely lot to look after, depending on who this is going out to, whether it's just a hub or, random people on YouTube, they'll be like, what? What are you
got
talking
to look
about?
after you. That.
Yeah, I gotta look
No,
after
I
you.
think this is a good one for the hub because like it's nice for people to see that. Like I think as well, people think that, and again, remember on the WMBF podcast, Sarah was saying she didn't think that you'd used to have been like a bit of a bum or whatever the word it was in
Yeah,
I was gonna say in
can't remember
Spanish. In Scottish, it was like a bem
I
or a
was the
bam or
same.
something. It's basically
Yeah,
the same
BAM.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, that'll
Yeah,
do a
a
BAM.
bam. Um, but
Everyone
like
at some point.
I wouldn't have ever said I never thought like, oh my God, like Josh is such a bad client. I never thought that at all. I just thought he's young and he's got a lot of potential and he just needs to pull his finger out a bit. And then it was just a case of trying to get you to do that and trying to help you see that the potential that you had. And again, I don't think I ever had a go at you. You know, what I mean, I'm not that type of coach. Like I wouldn't ever really
Oh, you
have a
gave
go at
me.
my clients.
You
Like,
didn't give me a go. Give me a go. You didn't like have a go at me and like fucking start screaming at me or this and that. But there was a few times you were just like, mate, pull your finger out. Like, stop moaning. Stop like greeting about it. You have two options. You can either feel sorry for yourself or you just crack on and things get better again. And I
yeah,
remember saying to my mum a few times, I was like, yeah, Finn's just gave me a bit of a kick up the arse. Like, I'm gonna crack on and stuff. And then again, funnily enough, I felt great again. It's just like, yeah, that it makes sense. It's the same with a lot of my clients. Like, it's so often will someone say like, "Oh yeah, I've just been feeling really sluggish lately, low energy, this and that," and I'm like, "When are you waking up? When are you going to sleep?
yeah,
Is it later? Then you're waking up later, and you feel like you're not on time. You're chasing your tail all the time, and you feel like shit. Like just getting back on track and getting into routine again makes the world of a difference. But I just didn't understand that because again, like
you've
your
never
emotion,
had it.
your body, yeah, and your body was telling you like, yeah, just you're absolutely fucked. But it was because I was just being lazy. Because then
Yeah,
you lazy, and it's a horrible cycle to get pulled into. It's only until someone says to you, get out of it, do everything you do to get out of it. Once you pass that first hurdle, you're fine.
yeah. It
And I
is
still
so
tell that
easy
to my
to
clients. Yeah, it happens
It's
to
so
everyone.
easy to. Yeah, of course it does. Like, especially when you've got a lot of external stresses on, like over the past year and like different points for me. Like, I've had those points where you don't want to get up at your normal time. Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to stay up on your phone because you're in your head, or your alarm goes off at 5 and you're like, like I feel tired. I just I'll snooze it. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as you start listening to those voices in your head and that sort of the negative sort of aspect to it's like the chimp paradox book or the devil on your shoulder, whatever you want to think of it as. Like, as soon as you start thinking of those voices in your head that tells you, oh, you could just do this, like, and it's not the right thing to do. It's the easier thing to do. Like, you could just do this. You could actually just do. Oh, you could just have an extra couple of hours in bed. You don't need to get up now. Like, already you've lost. Like,
Yeah.
if you're snoozing your alarm in the morning, you've lost. Like, in my opinion, you've
Day
lost the
in,
day.
day out, pretty much gone to shit, yeah.
Yeah, like, and that sounds like a bit, maybe a little bit sort of extreme, but like
Dramatic, yeah.
straight away, like if I'm snoozing my alarm, I've already lost that first battle of the day.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally a battle with your phone that's telling you to get up. Like,
Cards.
the reason that you're snoozing it is probably because you're not going to bed on time, and then you've lost the battle last night. And like, as soon as you start losing those battles, if you keep losing them over and over and over and over
Hard to
again,
get out of it, isn't it?
exactly, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a
I'll play
harder
it
sort
together.
of it's harder to climb back up. But yeah, I think that we probably had conversations like that. And again, like you say, I'll have these conversations with my clients now. You'll have them with your clients now. I'll have them with you still now, and I'll have them with myself. I'm not like it's not as if I've never
Yeah, a lot of
snoozed
people
my
think from
alarm
what we
or
see on or they see on
no,
social
mate.
media that like we
Especially again,
yeah,
like especially over the past year, like I've had a lot going on in my personal life that's been hard to navigate around, and I've not just been waking up every day like, yeah, buzzing, let's get up at 5, and
brilliant.
like I've got a lot of other stresses going on. But also, like one thing that is great is that I do have standards to hold myself to for myself, but also for you guys. And like, especially when clients were prepping and peak weeks and 2 days out, 1 day out, like no matter how I felt, it doesn't matter. Like
Can't
I've got to be
afford
there for those
and
guys. Yeah, like so there's massive pros to that as well. But yeah,
I think
so
people are scared of being like kind of busy because they think, oh, it's gonna be fucking hell, but it's actually a blessing in disguise because it
yeah,
keeps you accountable to all this stuff. Like if you have the decision of like, should I take this thing on because it's gonna make me pretty busy, I'd say just always do it. You'll adapt
yeah,
over time. But it keeps you, consistent and busy, and obviously you're going to get benefits from that, whether it's getting paid more money or you get more experience in a certain field or realm or whatever it is. So,
and it's
yeah, I
just
think
learning. Like it's like the whole thing, obviously with like Reese and me opening a gym this year, like you could argue like, oh, you're going to be so busy, it's going to be so stressful, you're not going to make money back on it for maybe however long the first, however many years, like we might not like make a profit, but that's not the point. If everything you did was just to make more money or to make your life easier, like, it, what kind of
yeah,
life is that? You know what I mean? Like, there's no challenges. Like, you should be doing things that do scare you, that push you out of your comfort zone. Obviously, I put on that post into that 2024 post, like, don't get comfortable when you
yeah,
feel comfortable and you feel like everything's just a bit easy and your life's just the same every day, like you start feeling shit.
yeah,
You start feeling worse. Like, you don't want to get comfortable. When I feel my worst, it's because I'm starting to get into too much of a comfort zone where things are just too the same.
yeah,
And if you start feeling like that, again, this is to like going to out to clients, like I would think like, right, what can I actually do? What can I improve upon? Because am I actually nailing everything if I feel really comfortable? Or could I be better, here, whatever aspect it might be. But yeah,
yeah.
let's get back to this. So October 2022. Let's have a look on the Instagram. Where's it gone?
So many tabs open, mate. Jeez, oh.
I can't even move this out of the way.
I can see it. I don't know how many Instagram tabs you've got open. Slap bang in the middle, yeah.
Okay, so what date are we on here? Oh, perfect. October
Um,
2022.
yeah, this is the first physique reel. Should have put 17 natty. No, sorry, would have just turned 18 here, wouldn't have.
What was the caption? Some posing from a few days
Didn't quite have the algorithm unlock at that point.
ago.
Uh,
To be fair, so what's this? This is 74, 75 kilos.
yeah, I'd say I'm in better condition now, and I'm 80 kg, so that's a win.
Oh yeah, you're a hell of a lot bigger as well. Like yeah, you're definitely bigger and leaner. I'd say maybe not your face, but everywhere else.
My face just gets fat as shit instantly. Get me there, just
Coming
oh,
for 80 kilos.
oh, I didn't put natty. That's why I didn't blow up. Oh, look at that classic. Yeah, mate. Like it's just not got as much muscle there, but like that shape and everything's still there. That's
This
got
one
7,000 likes.
blew
What
up,
the?
mate.
Yeah, buddy. I was hella skinny. Look at that. It's not over until I win. Let's go.
To be fair, you look good. The lighting in there is good, isn't
Yeah, I look better there than I do now, Jesus. Regress.
Right. So this
Mate,
is when you started.
yeah, that's when I started training a bit better. Like soon you can see some of these training clips. Like this is
Yeah.
all when I started posting more content. Um, the seat was super low here. I think yeah, I could tell as soon as the video started. I pressed 5 plates on there. I can't do that now. No chance. I was much stronger at pressing, but I also do have a dodgy shoulder now. So sad
That's it.
times.
I've got lifts that I did back in the day
Yeah.
and now got injuries to work around. Like, well, I'm also a lot better on other lifts. Like, it's part of it, mate. But yeah,
Yeah.
like, this is, you can start to see now, like, making some really good progress. I'll be competing in my first show on September 17th under the guidance of Finn Kelly _Kurt.
That was what my fourth show, something along those
Yeah,
lines.
it didn't end up being the first one, did it?
No. Yeah, this is when I started to put out right up in your face there, don't
Got the FK Physiques hoodie on as well.
Brilliant. Promoting your brand. Didn't even know it. Just because all the interaction I was getting in these posts. Thousands and thousands of likes. But
No,
that's
it's
what
still
things up.
251 likes on a talking post. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Mate, this is when I started to like actually post like a lot more content, push my
Yeah,
coaching a lot
pushing
more. It's
coaching
like
a lot
Noah.
more. Huh?
Noah there in the Smith.
Yeah,
He's oh it is. He's a different human being, isn't he?
2023. So that's
Never
pretty. That's like, yeah, 2 years ago.
yeah. Never catch Noah wearing just a pair of joggies and a tight night top now.
I know.
Um, it's a big
He's
flared.
way too extra for that now, isn't
Yeah, he's edgy.
he? This is
That
when you came to
there
see
we
me.
go. Yeah.
Still got the band on.
Yeah, nice adductor biased
Was
high
that the
squat.
first rep?
Yeah, wait,
First
that was
rep.
no, this was the first rep of that video. That's a 60-second long video. You pushed for like four more here. You and Reese and Noah. Still remember it to this day. Like I couldn't walk at all after that set. I was trying not to spew, but then I opened my eyes and both of yous were there. I was like, well, I can't be a pussy now. You just kept telling me to go for more. Kept
And
telling me
it's
to
not like I wasn't giving you loads. You know what I mean? You were getting the reps. Like,
yeah.
look, it's not as if I'm like,
It's just poor bracing and stuff like that. Obviously, it didn't allow me to go for more reps, but I thought like I was dying at this point. I remember going to lock it out and I thought my knees were going to shoot back there. I was like, help, 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 shouting at his.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
that was
remember taking like you and Noah through like some leg extensions and stuff on that day, and like you would like both like during the set and after like just nearly crying or like
and
moaning. I was like, just fucking get on with it. Like
I
it's
remember
sound.
you. I remember you were talking about because you just trained with Zach Daniels or Zach Daniels coaching. Can I get in
Yeah.
on that? Yeah,
Yeah, you're getting on it. It's okay.
thank you, mate. But no, you were talking about training with Zach Daniels, and you were like, yeah, he trains to like a different kind of level to you guys. And I was like, "Fuck, do you mean a different level to us?" I was like,
Yeah,
there's a level
Zach
above
trains
us."
really well. Just gets
Yeah,
after it.
but at that time, I was like, "How do you train harder than this?" But I didn't realize that it was from like a breathing tempo.
Yeah, it's not
Arousal.
so much. Yeah, it's not that you're not
Yeah,
pushing yourself. Like, and again, this is what I always try and get across to clients. Like, when we're going through like form feedback, we're never saying like you're just not trying. Like, that's not what we're getting at. We're getting at like, okay, how can you get more out of this set? Like, when we're saying like go for another rep, like again,
it's not because lack of like effort or like
yeah,
want.
it's not saying
Sometimes
like you
it is, but
just
it is just more so eccentric control is not quite there. Therefore, you're kind of not ready for it from like a physical standpoint, but psychologically as well. Like going into that rep, you're not ready to get into it because you've not had time to actually prepare yourself for it and stuff.
so
Remember,
much of it is breathing and bracing. Like you say, like getting
like a
enough air
lot.
in,
That's
bracing
why
your
I
core.
think the first main video of the training lecture like series that I done was breathing and bracing because it's just
Yeah.
the like mate, I remember I get like a 7 minute long voice note from you instantly, and I thought at the time I was like 7 minute long voice note. About breathing and bracing. I do that now as well for a lot of my clients. Like sometimes when we send over the first session, they get like a 10 minute long voice note because
Yeah.
this is the baseline that we need to
The
set.
first, yeah, the
And then
first sessions, yeah.
and even just that first week in general, and like really, really kind of like knuckling down on that stuff. But that's when I learned how to train a lot harder. I'm gonna be shaking here. Yeah. I put 2 plates on that leg extension and I was like strapping it and everything. You're like, mate, there's no weight on there. Like that's not heavy, but because I've never used the primer, I was like, 2 plates, that's a lot of weight. Done 3 plates and I was like, that's really, really heavy. But again, I think my quads just were like a little bit dodgy at that point, coming off the back of that tendinopathy. But
And
um,
coming off the back of that hack squat. Did
yeah,
we do
look
the
at
leg
my
extension before the hack?
the waist in that quarter turn,
It's good, mate.
vacuuming the quarter turn to
This is
be
before
fair.
we went bowling. I was
Yeah,
ready. I was ready to
my
go.
shoes though. You brought your bowling shoes, you big fucking gimp.
They're not bowling shoes.
No, you had bowling shoes with you.
No, I
I
didn't.
remember. I remember it well.
Mate, I've never had bowling shoes in my life.
You had bowling shoes.
No, I didn't.
You did. You
Mate,
were
I
so
don't.
pleased. You
I've
were
never.
so pleased about it as well. And you would walk up every shot holding it directly out in front of you.
Yeah, but
And
I
you were
didn't have bowling shoes. I've never owned bowling
you had
shoes. I
bowling
might have
shoes.
had different trainers from training, but
Nah.
they're not my bowling shoes.
Look at my execution there as well. I thought I was executing that very well.
Yeah,
I'm just like so far protracted.
crunched into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
minimal range of motion.
Oh, yeah, that was when Finn, Reese and I both wore the same top. I definitely wore it better. He was
Yeah,
wearing a 4XL, I was wearing an L, sadly.
I like this movement.
I've never done it since, but I always do say that as a good
Yeah,
alternative to do. If
it's
someone
good.
can't get up on upper back row, it is nice. But
So
again, look at the
anyway,
difference in my back compared from there to now, like, what's changed in terms of visual aspects.
yeah.
What was that? Right up top, slap bang middle, 5 weeks before prep. So I remember 5 weeks before prep, I remember posting that. Legs had grown a lot there,
Wait,
like since
you look
last
really
time.
good there.
Thanks.
That's
Back,
what like after a few weeks from being coming and
yeah, just
seeing me,
actually training hard.
and then you grew loads.
Yeah, a wee bit of booty builder.
Right, let's crack on into some prep
Be
check-ins.
here for like 2 hours.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Said we'd do like a 45 minute.
We've got 14 minutes left to cover the whole prep. Brilliant.
Right,
No, wait,
so,
we started down there.
oh mate, you shredded already. What's
They've got
happened?
to be fair, it did happen like that.
Yeah, to be fair.
Little updates in nearly 4 weeks into prep. Bigger on the right.
Yeah, 4 weeks
Big,
in,
like I had
two
drastically improved
kilos
my
down.
training.
Food was still in a decent spot.
My food never really went too low during prep, to be fair. My legs started to come to life a lot more.
Right. You're just growing out. You look at your legs.
Yeah, yeah, big difference.
This is what when
Like,
people are
it
like you can't
really
grow in a
does.
deficit. Like,
It really does go to show how important training performance is, like just the little things within that. There was one, if we go up, I think it's a quarter turn to show the first part of it. I put like a side by sides there. No, the front lat spreads to your left. I remember the quarter turn I was pretty happy with here. Side try looks pretty solid.
yeah,
Yeah. Again, I was still vacuuming on it, but I remember looking at it, I was like, might have some potential like in this shit.
yeah, that's good,
I
man.
was happy with that. 6 weeks in, 16 weeks out. Realistically, it was like 10 weeks out. We didn't really know it at that point, but
Yeah, but even here, mate, like your midsection's pretty lean
confident.
there.
Yeah,
6 weeks into prep.
full hairy legs on show in the posing trunks.
Doing cardio every day.
Yeah, nothing really changed. Yeah, like mate, I remember it. Like I didn't drop body weight that much on the first week. We were like, yeah, we're gonna keep cardio out. Then the second week you went cardio every day, 7 days a week, and I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake. But again,
Yeah,
it's
but 25
easy. It
minutes.
gave
Like,
me it gave me a reason to like wake up and just crack on straight away. I was like, I need to get my cardio done. So it worked out
yeah,
pretty well.
it's good. It's a good way to start your day. Like, if you can do cardio pain free, like obviously in a prep, sometimes people run into niggles because you're like overuse in knees and ankles and stuff. But if you can do cardio pain free, like it's a good way to start your day, regardless. Prep off season, no matter what. Even
Yeah.
if you just, it doesn't have to be crazy demanding. You can maybe do some more demanding cardio, like away from leg days or on a rest day. But I really like just like cardio every morning. I'm not doing it at the
Yeah, you've
minute
got
while I'm
time
here,
for
but
it. Get up well, crack on
yeah.
before whatever it may be.
Even
I'm
you can do
all
work
into
while you're doing it. You can listen to check-ins or prep. Like obviously, if you're not obviously not people that aren't a coach, like maybe a bit more
Yeah, I used to
difficult.
watch an
Like
episode of anyone out there who's into anime. I used to watch an episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. That was the first one I watched. That was incredible. And then I went through Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan, all in prep as well. Cardio first thing in the morning, and it meant I looked forwards to cardio because I was like, oh, I get
Yeah.
to watch the next
Do
episode.
something that you enjoy or do something productive like prepping, if you want to be a coach, listening to check-ins, or if you've not got any work to do, prepping social media content, like, be productive when you're doing your cardio, or learn, watch some informative content on the Natural Physique Hub.
Yeah,
Um, or
I
like you say,
love
do
doing that.
something that you actually watch something that you enjoy, watch something funny that every morning you start off a bit more positive.
Yeah.
This is cool.
What details going through? You posted go right above this. This is all starting to come back to me. If you back out of this, you posted it up a little bit. I think on the FK Physiques page, or it might have been a little bit ahead of that. I don't know. Maybe is that it there? Did you post that? No. You put up a physique update, and I was like, nice. I've made it to the Finn Kelly Instagram at some point. Yeah, mate, conditions coming in there, definitely. I don't know where it would have been.
Mm.
Hopefully, see it as we go up.
I say
You'd
I wouldn't have
slightly
wouldn't have
edited that
deleted
stuff.
it.
Yeah. You've done a Reese Fit, just crank the what is it that he puts on the sharpness or whatever it is,
Saturation and stuff. Yeah.
like 600, does it to 100, then screenshot it,
Screenshot,
does it to
screenshot,
100,
screenshot.
screenshot, 6 different times.
Honestly, I
You're
didn't even edit it. Honestly, I hardly even edited it. All right, mate.
That's what happens as soon as you take gear, you can't help but start editing your photos.
Yeah.
No one ever do it. Not in the Natural Physique Hub. Posing was awful. Makes a big
Quite
difference. Like
flat here as well, aren't you?
hmm?
You're pretty flat at this point.
Yeah.
Like not crazy, but like just like you're like even like your legs and that. Your lats look
Burger
really
and
good.
Fries protocol was implemented by that point, I think.
Well, yeah, you're
Trying
still
to,
very lean. Like
yeah.
you
Probably
got like
not far off what most people will like step on stage at. Like,
it's probably, mate, that's leaner than most people ever get. Like you've got hamstring detail, glute detail. A lot of people don't get
was quite
into
surprised with the hamstring detail, to be fair,
yeah.
yeah, as it came down. But again, just a genetic standpoint as well. But I
I
did
also
train.
think posing plays a big role. Like
Yeah,
how
definitely.
hard you posed, how well you posed. Was
Well,
this
there's
when you
the
left your job?
yeah how vascular I am. I remember someone messaging me like, "Are you pumped up on this, bro? Or is that just how vascular you are?" I was like,
Did,
"That's just how
did you
vascular
get
I
a
am."
pump?
No, no, no. It was just a warm day outside, and I was lean, so very vascular. But mate, I remember being in Curry's just feeling like death at all
Yeah.
times. Like, see, because it's not very busy, there's nothing to keep you moving, to keep your mind kind of occupied. I would literally just stand around like the wee computer waiting for a customer to come up to me, just like not wanting to be there. I'd feel like I was just dying at all times. Um, I had nothing to kind of focus on, so just all I could think about was foods. There's the FK Physiques one. Boom, finally to the right. Posted that one there.
So Josh C Fit prep update. We have a warm-up show coming relatively soon, but the first main show in 10.5 weeks. Josh is way ahead. Yeah. A
Yeah.
combination of a very lean genetic set point and struggling to push food up prior to prep due to digestive issues has meant that he's come in very quickly without really having to push much at all. And again, like this is why I think a lot of people almost compare themselves to other people. So like people will compare to you and go, oh, I want to get to that level of condition, or like why can't my prep be as easy as Josh's was? And like, first of all, it wasn't easy. Like, I wouldn't have ever said it was easy. Like you still nailed everything. Like I honestly don't think you really missed a beat, did you? Like
No, not at all.
throughout.
There wasn't a thought of doing that. Like there was no, should
I
I
don't
eat this?
remember really
Should I
any
eat
point
that?
where I
Like
had to call you out and go, come on, that needs to be
yeah, there
better.
was
Like you were
literally
just
not a
spot on.
nothing at all. You just need to completely dissociate yourself with, oh, do I want to? Again, it comes down to listening to your emotions or listening to the plan. Listen to the fucking plan. Too many people just listen to their emotions and how am I feeling? What am I doing? Like you just need to crack on.
But the
Because if
thing
you
is,
think too much
you
about
did
how you feel,
communicate. You did
yeah,
communicate how you felt. It
there's a
wasn't like you
thin,
ignored it, but
yeah,
you communicated it. And again, like to be fair, at this point, again, as I've literally written it here, like in a lot of ways, this is positive, but it gives us plenty of time to run refeeds, high days, diet breaks, etc. But we have to be careful.
yeah.
And you did fade a little bit towards the end for sure, like by the Olympia,
Oh yeah, definitely.
by the Budapest show.
Yeah. I was
Bucharest,
extremely
sorry.
flat there. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you were. I remember, I remember literally said to you, didn't I? I messaged
yeah.
you and I was like, "Were you on your feet all day yesterday?" And you were like, "No, it wasn't that bad." I was like, "You were. Like, you look really flat this morning." Like, I didn't want to say you look bad, but like,
To be
yeah,
fair, it was like 7, 8,000 steps, but that was more than I was used to at the moment.
yeah.
Or I'm sorry.
And it's just traveling and stuff, and like we definitely could have
That was
fed you up more into that.
Yeah. If that was now, you would have told me like you were horrendously flat, fucking eat. But see,
Yeah.
because I'm not saying that we weren't close at that time, we were,
But
but
it's also your headspace in a prep.
yeah,
Last thing you want to hear the day, like I would never say that to a client the day before a show or the day of a show. It's just not worth it.
that's the thing I think at the time because I remember just being like, should have just said to me because I don't mind. Like by that point,
Well, I
see,
just
because
told you to eat more food. I think I was like, we'll
yeah,
just have like we're gonna add in extra. Like I wouldn't like even now, like maybe with you it's a bit different because
yeah, because at
I've
that point
prepped
again,
you before and I
I
know
think
that you're not.
5 times there, and like I was like, this is
Yeah.
just a case of like business now. Like I'm not really emotionally attached to
Yeah,
any.
and you didn't really, you were never too emotional or lost your head or anything. Um, but
There's the
yeah,
anabolic stimulating.
but yeah, for like generally, the last thing you want to do, and this is just good, even advice for you, mate, is
Yeah,
if let's say the morning of a show, a client doesn't look how you want them to look, like the last thing you need to do is go, "Oh, bro, you look fucking shit," like you look
yeah,
awful.
yeah. It
Like
depends on the person. It depends on the
yeah,
mindset.
100%. You can be honest with them and say, "Oh, you, right, well, whoa, definitely like you're definitely looking a lot flatter, or you definitely spilled
Yeah, but you're
over more
not
than I
fucking
expected."
panicking about it as well. If you're panicking about it, imagine what it'd
No,
be.
you just got to be honest with them and say, "Okay, right, this is probably what's happened. You know, how was your sleep? Yeah, it was shit. I was stressing about the show. Okay, right, we know what the cause is, and right, this is what we can do. Over the next X amount of hours until you're on stage. Like, I think as well, people think as soon as they wake up on show day morning, that's how they're going to look on stage. It's not like you've still got time where you could improve that look a hell of a lot. Some people look awful first thing in the morning, like even if they're pretty well fed because they're just dehydrated and they need a bit of time to wake up and move and then they start posing properly and so on. But yeah, this was pretty cool.
I remember these photos getting taken. I was like, that's pretty sick. This was only, what was this? I don't think we mentioned. Well, what? It's 19th of June 2023. The WNBF was 16th of July, so that
Yeah,
was like
a
three and a
month.
half weeks out. Oh, here's the pick issue starting. Good to see that they've went away. Brilliant that. Still plaguing me. But yeah, I was happy with those shots. Then the Ultraflex Rotherham ones as well. I was happy with them. Maybe those there. The rear one where I'm kind of going up on my toes, and then yeah, that one there.
Ooh.
Two. That was it being born. Two. I had a few of them through prep, didn't
Just a few.
I? Yeah, a couple.
So yeah, like what I would say as well, like for people watching who are trying to like get an idea as to condition, like you could look at this and go, he cannot get any leaner. Yeah,
Yeah,
like, and I would argue, yeah, you're probably right from the front, but then you look from the back, and
yeah.
you're not all the way in. You know what I mean? You're very
Yeah,
lean,
especially
and you
considering what that changed to.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's
things going.
passable for sure. Like 100%, it's passable. You could have stepped on stage right there and then, and you'd look great, but
Yeah,
you weren't what I would be looking at as like all the way in. It's lean
yeah,
enough. Like that is 100% passable to step on stage.
yeah,
Like 100%. But you could have been a bit leaner for sure. And obviously that's what we were like, yeah, we can still be leaner. We can still be leaner. And even like after the WNBF where you obviously when you won, like we knew you could still be sharper. Like it was like, oh, this is a really good look, but we can still be a bit sharper. Again, here, there's just like a film like over your glutes and over your lower back. Like there's just like a film of what is body fat and also some fluid that is going to come with just being a bit heavier. Like from the front,
it was
like
67 kg. I've got the sheets up to the left of me as well.
midsection wise, like you're very, very crisp.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you're not gonna get loads more off that, but still quads were, definitely able to get a little bit sharper. Yeah, if you've got the sheets up, that's pretty cool, mate. You can compare. That's me.
the boys.
The boys, yeah. Get these
Arnold's.
guys some tank tops immediately.
Yeah,
God's
just in there
sake.
with some what's it, the Gold's Gym ones.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
18
the
year olds
guy.
natural. Huh?
Oh, is that the first natty reel? There we go.
No, there's quite a few before that, mate.
Oh, where it says natural.
This is cool.
We're getting a new car soon. Exciting, exciting.
Well, to be fair, by the time this comes out, you probably have it, won't you?
Yeah, when will this come out?
Shahid's World. That's But that's the guy that I used to train out of his gym in lockdown.
Really?
Yeah,
What a guy. Shout out to, what's his name? Shahid,
Shahid. Yeah,
the boy. Yeah, I
you
remember
would miss
first
it when
sitting
he
in
was
that,
up.
God, the Mazda mobile.
Were you buzzing with this?
Mate, it felt like a fighter jet. I mean, the steering wheel is really nice to be fair. But I was sat in that just thinking, what the fuck? But again, like I did work for it. Like a lot of people, I tell you, the guy that messaged me and I said like I'm going to go out for a walk in the morning and then a walk in the evening, like try to catch sunrise and sunset. And I was like, yeah, this is very much just the ideal world, mate. Like you don't actually work like a normal job and this and that. I felt like saying to him, just shut up, mate. Like I
Yeah,
worked
I
for
used to work a normal job and I worked really hard
to
to
get out
stop.
of it, and now I'm
Yeah,
here. Yeah. I didn't say it, I just patched them because I can be bothered with the controversy of it. But um, yeah, like I was really happy when I got the GTI because that was me up to like 20 25 clients, and I thought this is pretty sick. And obviously built my way up there and through prep. I remember see that week that I went down to see you. That was brutal. I started up 9 people in the 1 week while traveling down to see you. I remember I got like 5, 6 hours of sleep every night that I was down there because we'd train up until like 7 p.m. and I'd go home and have to do 2 setups, then wake up, do 2 setups, go to the gym, do 2 setups. That was brutal, but that's when it all kind of started to pay off. Like that week was daft. Like obviously shouldn't have done that. Um, but it kind of put me into a position where I was like, right, I need to adapt to
yeah,
this workload. And again, beforehand, I would have been like, no chance, I'm not doing that. But see, because I was in that prep mindset, prep's really good for like calcing your mind, I think. Like it really makes you a lot more, a lot stronger mentally in the sense where I was like, I can do fucking anything here. I was
yeah.
like,
You think 9 setups in a week? Yeah, sound.
yeah, I was like
Yeah,
that's gonna be fine. Whereas beforehand, I would have been like, no chance. Like the most I can do is one or two. But it kind of helps you push past what you think is possible. Again, from like a physical standpoint, your physique, but also within your business, within again like a psychological standpoint, it does help you a lot with that. If you apply yourself, it can go one or two ways. It's obviously again your choice. But I feel like when you do get into prep, you get into such like a productive routine. For me, I felt on top of the world because I spend majority of my days eating in my off season, like because it just takes me so long to eat my meals. At this point, I was just like, life is great. I've got so much time in my hands because I'm not taking ages to eat my meals. So I did find that quite nice. But yeah, sorry for the ramble.
pretty. No, it's cool. It's quite cool to see our names now at the top. When obviously before it would have just been like
Yeah.
Finn Kelly underscore coach and Josh C Fit. So yeah, this was a deload and like a bit of a practice peak. So we just had 3 days no cardio, reduced steps, linearly loaded carbs and fats, which basically just means gradually increasing carbs and fats together, primarily carbs, but a little bit more fats as well. Um, reason that as well, again, just like to explain why that is, the reason that we'll do that is like generally we're loading carbohydrates to fill intramuscular glycogen stores, which basically is going to make a muscle look fuller, push against the skin a little bit more. A good way to think of it is like, your muscles, imagine your muscles being like balloons. So a balloon is always the same size. You can blow it up or it can shrink based on how much air it's got in it. You think of the air as like the glycogen from the carbohydrates and the blood flow from getting a pump. So, you can obviously basically a good way to think of it as well would be a water balloon where you could fill it up as much as possible. Once the water balloon's completely full, it'll spill over. You can't just keep going and going and going. It'll either break, which a muscle won't do, but it'll either pop or it'll spill over, which is the same with, filling a muscle with carbohydrates is basically you'll get to a point where you can't fill your glycogen stores anymore. So it will then spill over and be stored in other organs or as body fat, which is what happens when people eat too many carbohydrates on a consistent basis or too many calories, where you then spill over and gain body fat. But anyway, we increase
Also,
carbs.
I was
Go
going
on.
to say from like the balloon analogy, when there's no air in the balloon, the material is very thick. When there's loads of air in the balloon, the material becomes very thin.
Yeah,
So it's the same with your skin. When the muscles are flat, you actually end up looking a little bit softer because they're not pushing up against the skin. Whereas when they are a lot fuller, it's going to press up against the skin and you'll actually be bigger, but also like leaner as well. So I think that's
like
good to
almost
benefit.
stretches your skin around it more.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, and then with fats, generally I like to bump fats up a little bit just because they help with actually holding on to the fullness for a little bit longer. Yeah, fats are going to slow down digestion of meals. It's going to help in terms of holding on to the food, the nutrients, the carbohydrates that you've consumed a little bit longer. Other aspects of fats, like especially if you're maybe adding in like more dark chocolate, you could argue like more nitric oxide and things like that to help with blood flow. But the primary reason is that it's going to give you some more calories, come out of a deficit, which is the main thing. Drop off fatigue, drop off stress, like feel better and look better just for not being in a deficit for a few days, which is the most important part really of a peak week is just dropping fatigue and especially before you actually start loading carbs, dropping fatigue through expenditure is always a good idea. So hence no cardio, reduced steps. But yeah, it was just a bit of a practice to see sort of how he responded. First one maybe sooner than you think.
Ooh.
Oh, that was when we knew that you were doing the WMBF. I think we knew you were doing the WMBF probably what like well we I'm
But
sure
but
we
before that,
I'm gonna say I'm sure we knew you were then.
yeah, kind of hinting at it a little bit.
Yeah, 7 weeks out. Oh, this is
Yeah,
when I did a reel.
show day peak protocol. And it was like the one next to that there. I've got Josh E Fit. Who's that? I don't know a Josh E Fit. Josh Natural Physique is all I know.
So it's good memories though, isn't it, mate? It's cool.
Yeah, look at that. Your arms were definitely bigger than mine. I was raging at the time.
You thought your arms were gonna be bigger than that?
Yeah, they're realistically never going to be bigger than yours, sadly. But
That's all I've got, mate. You can't take that away from me. It's only my left arm as well. My right arm's not as big.
I don't know.
Um, right.
Chug with your left one. It's
No,
interesting.
no, don't actually.
Ooh, an outlier.
I don't. Wouldn't be able to.
These
These are
sorts.
some Sam George media photos. Right. Should we get to when you? Oh, here we go. I was gonna say, should we get to when you actually competed? Here
Yeah,
we are.
so after like see that reel below, I think that was like no the one just to the right, the physique one. I think I put like oh no, it wasn't that. Maybe the post before I was like, mock show day protocol, like or mock peak week protocol. Hoping people wouldn't figure it out whether I was competing or not. It'll be the one see the ones where I'm actually in my check-in spot there. Up. Was it possibly that one? Um see, does it
Yeah,
say anything?
practicing
Yeah,
peaking.
practicing peaking.
Happy with the
Realistically, I
look.
was like 2 days out or something. And then the cover up was because Doug
Heading
was,
down to heading down to watch Finn and Douglas.
yeah, brilliant that.
I mean, you
No
did.
expected the thing. I did, yeah, but I wasn't
This
wrong.
is where food was at. Still doing cardio. Like your baselines were still doing cardio. Obviously, when we were peaking, we were
After
pulling it
that
out.
show, I stopped doing cardio entirely, I think.
Yeah.
Don't know when it was we pulled that out. But
It was
again,
a really
I was
good look.
efficient, but I got a lot leaner. A
Yeah, he
lot.
did. This was a good look though. Like
Yeah.
really, really nice look. It was a good
But I think I
combination.
look soft. Like, look at my hamstrings and my glutes there. Like,
You weren't soft, mate.
yeah,
You were the
so,
leanest there still, probably by you were the leanest on stage, probably by quite some way.
yeah.
By 20
I'm,
pounds, as Reece says. 20 pounds leaner than anyone ever.
yeah, Cam's was 20. He was 50 pounds leaner than everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. We
Yeah.
beat some pretty big guys.
Mate, see when that big black guy was pumping up, holy
Yeah.
shit. Like I thought, how is that humanly possible? I was like, there's no chance he's natural. And then when I beat him, I was like, the fuck is going on here? I told my
A
mum
lot of
and
it
dad,
was that you just posed so much better. Like, I think if they were a little bit leaner and posed better, you wouldn't have won that. Like,
yeah,
which is fine. Like, that's a big part of bodybuilding is
posing
being in
makes a
condition.
big difference. Like a big
Yeah,
difference.
mate,
Like from
posing's
the
huge.
updates that we were showing earlier on there, like my posing wasn't awful. Like I was saying, oh yeah, that's awful there because it was awful to the standards that I was at when I was competing. But like I could still hit a side chest and kind of get past. But there's a massive difference between having like decent posing and having really good posing. Oh yeah, Butcher's natural physique plug, but it really does make
Yeah,
a difference. Like if you are going into prep, make sure that your pose is nailed down. Like I was doing posing rounds multiple times a day, but it's not just going through the motions. It's the same with training. Like you can't just go through the motions. You need to actually analyze things, think about it a lot. If you've got someone like Matt, for example, who just kind of tells you the changes to make and you just implement them, makes it easier. But for myself, posing was a big thing that I kind of made sure I was nailing down because it was like it's something that's within my control. Why am I not going to do that to the best of my ability? Like some of these guys are going to be significantly bigger than me, way more than me, but I'm going to make sure that I pose better than them. So yeah, posing definitely a big part of it. Tan a good part of it as well. Shout out Nicola A1 Tannin, my absolute goat.
mate, shout out me on that day.
Yeah, yeah. Fair dues.
Like it
You
was
love him.
literally before the
You
overall.
he's
I
though.
like redid your whole tan.
Yeah, yeah.
That
That
was a
did
really that was a really good day.
definitely shined out on stage.
Hey, look at that.
That made, to be fair, that is one of my favorite shots from
Jesus.
prep, like as a whole.
Wait, that's so good. I need to take a photo. I feel like we should post this one on YouTube, you know?
You think?
Yeah, because I'm seeing some of these shots and it's just cool to look back in it.
Yeah, it is good to reminisce on it all. It really badly makes me want to do it again because I'm miserable in an off season. I
Yeah,
love
but
this.
you're not you're
I know, but I'm
mate,
shit.
you're not gonna beat that guy.
Yeah,
That
no,
guy's good.
yeah. It makes me think like, how is that me? Because I definitely don't
Mate,
like how.
that's ridiculous. You
It's a good
literally
shot.
look
That
like a pro, like a pro enhanced bodybuilder.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite shots. That front tricep, like all my best shots from prep were the front tricep, and some rear shots as
You
well.
stood like I remember just saying to you when obviously this was quite late at night at this point. And I remember
Yeah,
saying I was like, mate, just come forward, like stand further forward than everyone else. And like you were confident. You know, you were in the middle, you were confident. This was the pose down, like you didn't have to be in the middle. You chose to go and stand in the middle. It's like I know you were when they all called you out and like through the call outs, but you were just confident, although your
I
quarter turn
remember.
could be better.
Yeah, I
The Finn Kelly
remember.
quarter turn.
I said, "Oh, we love a fan." Oh, that's a good photo.
Yeah,
Brilliant. I think I've got that as one of my screensavers now. To be fair,
yeah, should do.
wake up in the morning to that. Brilliant.
Tan looks good. And then I think as well, when you like obviously when you won that show, like your confidence was like through the roof, feeling credible, like you think, oh my God, I'm actually really good. And food
So
pulled
when I
down,
started to get a
expenditure
lot
increased,
more,
time to get freaky lean. Like we actually
mate,
pushed a bit harder.
I was on one at that point. I was like, "Fucking put me on whatever food you want. I'm fucking
Yeah, I know.
right
But
here."
we didn't. I wouldn't ever say we didn't dig. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
It's not like we ever like, mate, we've got to
mate,
dig. I
that's
might
why I
have
was.
been like, we'll make some small adjustments because we can be a bit leaner over the coming weeks, and then we can fill up and reverse into the shows. Like,
Yeah.
and you were pretty full and pretty fresh. Like, look at mate, you're very full and very fresh there.
That was just the sleeping protocol between being on early in the morning and then like see even there like my quad's a bit blurry and shit like obviously professional stage photos usually kind of take a little bit of condition away but you can definitely see that I could have been leaner um over the next ones and I definitely did get leaner. I lost like a kg and a half. No, I literally lost a kg and that was it. But it was a big kg
That's a
because my
big
training
one
still
kilo.
1 kilo now makes no difference but YouTube video was good. I watched that like a few months ago. It was cool
Sam
to
did
watch.
that, yeah.
Yeah, and there was a shot of me and my wee cock sock
You
zoom right
were
in on it.
you definitely were a lot fuller for the overall. Do you remember? Because I said to you, I was like,
Yeah.
you're just gonna have to play to being a bit sort of bigger and fuller because you're gonna be against bigger
Bigger fuller
guys.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah. I remember thinking like I don't really, well, yeah, literally when you stepped off stage, I was like, I think you could, you'd be on for the overall. Like you could do pretty well.
yeah,
Like
mate. I thought that I wasn't gonna do like any, being in the top three. Sorry. I finally learned how to switch from hamstring on there. Brilliant. But
yeah, so also like that's like you a lot, not a lot leaner, but you're a decent
yeah,
amount leaner there.
yeah, I started to get a lot sharper at this point. Like from here, mate, the BMBF, I'm so confident. If the timing was good, that would be my best look of the season by an absolute mile.
Yeah,
Like some of the shots from right before it when we were in what's that gym called? EP Jungle. That
yeah,
was
that was that. Yeah, the rear double at EP.
yeah, I remember you messaged me after and you were like, what the fuck? Like after you see me in person, I was like, yeah, like I'm happy with these. And I looked at some of the shots, I was like, this is night and day. Even that one there, yeah, that reel that you're on, like the that front try looks pretty solid.
Yeah,
Like definitely a lot more conditioning there, like midsection's a lot more dialed in. Quads have got a lot more, but again they're pretty flat there. It's just my legs aren't very good realistically. From like a genetic standpoint, the sweep is not very prominent, but again, just get time to work on that now. But yeah, that BMBF show I thought was going to be really good. So that was 5 weeks after. You'll probably be able to scroll up and find it really, really soon. Yay, overall winner.
it's
You'll be
better
able to
with
hear
the.
you like
Yeah, I was
screaming
gonna
like,
say it's good with the the volume on.
yes!
Just the 200. Was this the first one that went mad?
One below that went a little bit as well. See that one right there? Oh no, it didn't. Oh no, that was TikTok. Sorry, the reason I posted it on there is because it went blown up on TikTok. Sleeper builds. It's pure fucking 14-year-old content that we like 4 and 14-year-olds be like, yeah, bro, that's
What does
fucking
it mean? What does it even mean? Does it
So
mean
a sleeper car is one that looks like an old shitbox or something, but it's fucking rapid.
right?
Like a sleeper build is one that looks just like you look like a
Yeah,
normal pulls on, you take it off, and then boom, you like mint. So that's me being like, is this a sleeper build? And then take the top off, boom, it is a sleeper build. And some great shots there, my booty. Quite like that shot.
okay, so what
Um,
the next show?
Oh, there's a big one. Let's sit on the air fryer chips tutorial for the 4 minutes and 40 seconds or something that it was. Going through a
Just
full
watch it all in
yeah.
silence.
That'd be a great
4 days
podcast.
out, 4 days, 3 days out. This is when you like say you're posting like, two, three
Yeah.
times a day. 18 hours out.
This is the one that Urs commented on, Urs Kalinski,
Did
for
it?
how you say it. Yeah. I don't know if it's gonna show up at the top, but he said like go get it, buddy. And I was like, "How well, mate?" And then put like a wee bear emoji.
That
And he's
was a
like,
very good look, but
"You
like
my
you
boy."
say, it was just a bit of a
It was an absolute mess, mate, realistically. I'm never gonna compete with him again. I despised it. I hate them.
it wasn't that bad.
No, I just didn't enjoy it very much because it was very rushed and it was on both experiences. And then if since then, every time I've been at a show or if I've coached someone at them, it's been the same situation. So not a massive fan. That looks not bad though.
Yeah, that
Double
was
just super, super flat. Because I remember like asking the women, I was like, teen bodybuilding about an hour or so. Because I was like, right, should I eat my pre-workout? Sorry, my pre-workout meal, my pre-stage meal just now. And she was like, yeah, about an hour or so. Like, I'm like, right, I'll crack on and eat my meal. I opened the tub of pancakes, because I'm a wee tub of pancakes with a jam. And I just hear, where is Josh Campbell? You need to be backstage pumping up right now. I was like, you shitting me? Like, why? And then they put us on like super early. I can't remember entirely how it went, but like the timings were completely off, so I wasn't able to do anything. I remember I went out on stage and I did my first quarter, and I was like, "Why is everyone facing the wrong way here?" Turns out that it was me that was facing the wrong way, uh, because I was just so flustered. Like everything was
yeah,
all
it's
over the
easily
place.
done. I was pretty flustered on that day as well because I think I had 6 people, didn't I? And I was competing.
Yeah,
Um, it was a bit of a stressful one. There's JP.
the boys. I was in so many overalls with him. That was really good actually.
Uh, okay, so next show was 8 days out. This was when we started with pit stop.
Lovely.
That's cool.
Next
So
one
what's
was
that?
the
How long is
UTA
that?
Spartans. Yeah, I've been with them like a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Mental.
So next show was yeah,
Part of
and
England.
you. This was when you were posting. Oh no, this was me. Sorry, I was going to say, was this when you were like you posted even during the day, like during the show? You know what I mean? Like win post
Sometimes,
about
yeah.
it.
I've done that on TikTok as well, like just to update people.
So yeah,
He was
look, this
that boy.
no, this
That
guy,
teeth up the shreds. Yeah, he had like a
yeah,
little bit of strange shape, but like he was pretty well muscled and stuff. His arms are just very thin.
yeah, Teddy, yeah, he's
Yeah,
good. That's the thing, like he's a really good team. Like it's not as if you just beat like people that were easy to beat. Like there were some really good people.
big lineup at the Natural Olympia.
Yeah, guy with one arm was really hard to beat.
It's big competition that.
But so this was.
This was the best look. This was the overall win.
Yeah, you beat Elliot, who's ridiculous. You beat Corey, who literally won his WNBF Pro card that year. Like,
Yeah,
it's not like you just beat people that were easy to
that's a
beat.
mental shot. Elliot and that most muscular. He was 95 kg or something on stage at this point.
Yeah.
I was 65. 30 kg difference.
Where's like the best photos from it?
Um, you're
Was it
gonna
when you got the
up to the top. I
actual
think
shots?
it's
There we go.
yeah, that will do. That's probably one of my favorite shots, or if not the favorite shot from the season. That and then that front tricep from the WNBA.
Yeah.
Oh, very
Good
cute.
times. Good times, mate.
Very, very cute.
There you
Uh,
are. With your dad.
yep, and proudest moment of my life. Still continues to beat. He's
No,
calf.
that's not your screensaver.
Look at his, yeah. That's my screensaver, my home screen, lock screen, everything, laptop, background, all of it. Yeah, that was the shit yourself protocol. That
Yeah,
was
to be fair, like as much as like it was a good look. Like I feel like this that it looks incredible, but some of the other shots you were a little bit flat, but like you were that
yeah,
crisp, it didn't
yeah. It's
matter. Like it
called.
was ridiculous.
It was relatively like it's warm on all times on stage, but like see once I'd got posing and once I got like quite vascular and quite warm and I had like a good amount of food in me before, if it's timed well, then it looks really, really good. And I think this time it was just timed very well.
Yeah,
Like very sharp from when I say shit yourself, I didn't shit my pants for anyone listening. The night before, something didn't digest well. I must have been kind of subconsciously worrying or something. Oh no, I know what it was. I lost my AirPods and I lost my phone charger. Thought, I'm gonna have no charge on my phone to even take check-in shots tomorrow. Didn't bother to ask Noah for his phone charger. I don't know why. Probably just two in my own head thinking about things and like for the whole night I was just running back and forth to the toilet. Emptied my stomach completely, was sleeping the whole time to try and get away from the fact that my stomach was gobs. Must have slept for like a good 12, 13 hours, like on and off. And woke up with like no waste. Then just added food in from there and it all went in perfectly because my stomach was empty. I'd slept for ages, so it was actually worked very well. I don't advise trying that yourself. Cliff Wilson's got like in his bodybuilding book, the hard back load, the front load, the linear load,
yeah.
the
The
wee
shit
crazy,
yourself.
the shit yourself load.
Lose your AirPods and your phone
Really,
charger and
really
shit
high
yourself.
risk. Yeah,
So this was one of my
high
best
risk.
clients' peaks, right? So like, what I did is I stole his AirPods and I stole his phone charger.
That's what we're looking for. Mean to sacrifice a pair of boxers. That was the BNBF finals. Mum and Dad came down to that, and Ben and Casey. Sorry, I'm
That
missing
was
them out.
cool on it
Yeah, that
backstage.
was good pumping up in that room. Yeah, I remember that well as well. You look like a zombie.
I don't know, I still had life. I had no body fat.
No, it was Vegas that you looked at your best.
Awful, mate.
That was my favorite look of your season.
Cheers, mate. In the Dragon's Lair.
Lifting up
Pale.
80 kg for like four.
I literally looked awful. Never looked so bad in my life.
A little bit of the hairspray here between the leg shot. Surprised you
That's
can see
cool.
me through
So that was BNBF finals. Um, and then UK FBA finals.
Yes.
5 out of 5.
Able class one there. No left leg in the previous
Zero
shot.
left leg. Zero left calf.
Yep. Right, see to be fair, like, again, look at my quads there. Like, although I was like a little flat, I think it's literally just they were starting to fade towards the back end because I'd been in condition for so long. But if you go along to like the last slide of that, I think I'm stood next to JP. Like quads wise, there his aren't like perfectly switched on. But see when my quads did get some like heat to them and like
Yeah.
really vascular, they definitely would look pretty
Quads
good
have
on.
never been so detailed or vascular.
Damn, look at that. Great minds think alike, me and myself. But they definitely did kind of light up as soon as I got on stage and started posing well. I think
But
posing
yeah,
Sam,
you got beat by Richard, didn't you?
yeah, he's mental though. Like there was no chance I was ever. I got moved into the middle and I was like, fuck off.
Yeah.
And he obviously won because yeah, again
Yeah,
he's
just overall size.
yeah. And then
So
this is
then,
towards Romania. Again, posting like three times a day. I was posting an update in the morning, like training or something, and then there was my wee spa. That's what I went for the day before to try and to chill out. Look at me there, candid. That was a Finn Kelly one. Yeah, mate, I was horrifically flat there. Jesus,
yeah,
look at my legs, just didn't exist.
yeah,
I remember looking at the photos, thinking like, "Am I flat?" And I was like, "Am I not?" Like, you just can't tell at the time. I think
yeah. It's
have it.
just like a lack of pop through your lower body as well. Like, and well, to be fair, through everywhere.
Yeah.
What was the Finn Kelly one?
The front double bicep in the pool
What on here?
recreation of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't hurt quite as well.
That's one of the best ever photos I've got of me. Need to find it, post it again at some point.
I like the moto one. But yeah, IMB
Yeah.
came first there, but it was again against a terrible lineup. It's funny that one. There was
So this is something good to speak about. Like, obviously, you went and competed abroad. Like, what would you say the standard was like compared to in the UK?
not as good as the UK. Nowhere near as like actually standardized. Like there was some good people in some classes, but like the overall standard is definitely better within the UK. If you're competing UK DFPA, BNBF or WNBF, I think if you're going any other natural federations, and you're probably gonna, oh, we've got PC naturals now as well, to be fair, but you're gonna drop off in standard, and it'll be similar to what those foreign shows are. But yeah, UK was definitely better than the foreign shows there. But again, it depends what federation you go into as well. Like INBA, PNB, I feel like it drops outside of the UK, whereas WNBF it probably increases outside of the UK. It just kind of depends. But again, very, very flat here. So I came third actually in this show technically because I went into the junior class because the teens it was funny with the teens class it was two boys from Yemen. And the only reason I know where Yemen is, have you ever played Black Ops 2 Call of Duty?
Yeah,
No.
but I still don't know where Yemen is.
Well, I don't know exactly where it is, but the only thing I knew about Yemen is that it was a Call of Duty map, and it was like, the slums ran down like pure desert place. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. Both of them were like out of condition, and one of them came third, and they, announced that he was third, and they went, "Why, judges? Why?" And started like, if you was going, "Why are you doing this?" Going mental. Casey was sat there wetting herself. I was just on stage like the fuck is going on here? But yeah, like the teens class wasn't great. I competed in juniors, came third, and then the boy that won the juniors, I was in the overall with. And once I just got some like, I mean, I just downed some honey because I was like, I'm so flat here. Had a few rice cakes stolen from someone else, with permission. Didn't just go in and start taking his rice cakes, seen him in his bag. But then beat him in the overall by like a few placings. But yeah, I took a loss in the juniors class. That was the first time that that had happened throughout the season. But it happens, doesn't it? I didn't start greeting about it. It's just a case
Yeah,
of
and the
moving.
people that you got beat by was what, Adam? Was it Adam T Cats, that guy, I think?
Yeah, he was good, and then
And David.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not as if you got beat by people that are very, very high standard.
Then the natural Olympia.
So what, you're 11 days out at this point.
Yeah, it definitely was just like because we were on a point. It was like a difficult position because if we continued to kind of like hold where we were, I would just flatten off even more. But because my body like wasn't kind of ready to go into like a peak or anything again, like it just kind of got fed up of being in stage condition. When we tried to add food in, it wasn't like that
Yeah,
super compensation. It was just like slowly getting to the
you were pretty full here. Like we did fill up a decent amount.
yeah, but my legs just still had no life to them. Like
Yeah, a lot less.
yeah, compared to the
The-
start of prep. Like look at that one in your house top right. Look how flat my legs are. Just
Yeah,
because again they weren't very good and like from being in stage condition for so long. Um they had faded a lot. Jeez, so look at how fucking far forward I'm leaning in that side tricep.
I think
I
it's
need
side. Like I took him slightly from the side anyway. But yeah, like even like your rear double, like obviously there's not as much pop to it by that point.
Vegas trip.
Pretty
Yeah,
jacked there, mate.
that was great that one. Morgan Reese. That was a great trip, to be fair. I know you were in a hole at that point. Now look at him. You look like 12, mid skater.
You're like, oh, that's great, Galeas.
There he is, the boy. A very interesting fella. Very interesting. Funny.
So, what are your memories of this show?
Um, I remember getting what is it even called? It's the takeaway place we went to, the chicken place that we went to after, and it was shit.
Chick-fil-A or something, was it?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, it
First
wasn't
meal,
great.
but it was rubbish. Apart from that, cool experience, obviously competing in the States. Like very enjoyable, but the standard of the show wasn't great. I didn't look my best. I knew that going into like the overall that I didn't really have much of a shot because I wasn't at my best. So I was just there kind of for the experience and the vibes, as you would say. Um,
You there was a point where like again, like the timings were awful
yeah,
and you'd
so
eaten, you'd
bad.
chilled out a bit, we got a really good pump and you looked awesome. And then
Mate,
you
yeah, I
weren't
was
on
like,
for
oh,
like
man,
2 hours. Like we were
Yeah,
like
'cause they
they
told us we
literally had
were gonna
said,
be in
yeah.
trouble. Yeah.
We were like, oh mate, like
I looked really good at that point
you
as
were
well. Like,
on. You were.
yeah, on
And
full stop.
then I think you just obviously lost that
Yeah, and
pump
we were
because it was
like,
like 2 hours
we'll
later and
try and keep the pump a little bit. So I tried to keep it, and then like an hour later, I was just sat with you, AJ, and Laws um
we were
in the
just
couch,
chatting.
sat eating a meal. Yeah, I was like, I've got no pump anymore. I'm just sat grinding some almonds, just trying to keep some of these carbs here at least. And then again, by that point, it was just like it's kind of gone from here. But yeah, it was a good trip. Very much enjoyed it. We had what 2 to 3 days in Vegas afterwards. A good amount of foods. Yeah, I was up what 2 kg as it says there, 66.7 to 69.1. Came back from Vegas and once like I dropped off the water weight from traveling and stuff, I think I was 69 kg. So like I didn't gain a great deal of weight, and that's again not being a retard with foods post show. Like we enjoyed food, but it wasn't like to be fair, you and Reese were there to kind of hold me somewhat accountable. I remember that you went to that cookie place and there was like there was a chocolate eclair in it, there was cookies, this and that, and you put it up in the top cupboards. I was really ill one day and you just went to train. I was like, I'm firing right into that cookie. So I took a few bites and then just
Put it
went
in the
back to
top cupboard, like away from the kids where they can't reach it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I remember nearly overdosing on melatonin as well because I was putting up a story and I was like trying to do like a wee appreciation one. So I was writing loads and it must have took me like 35 minutes because I was like falling asleep between writing it. So melatonin is great and we just obviously
It's a
don't
good
have it
shot.
here. My little walnut cheeks out. Again, that was like right before the BMBF. I think that was one of my best. Like my glutes didn't look like that um in many other instances.
Oh, that was a very good shot.
Naked one. I remember posting that and just like some of my family follow me on here and getting my arse cheeks out.
That was
That was
the
that was the shit yourself protocol.
yeah.
No,
I remember you
disappeared.
messaged me that morning. You're like, mate, my waist has gone, and I was like, get some photos. And you sent the first photos were shit. Do you remember?
Yeah, yeah,
And then I was like, get some better photos.
yeah.
So I can't see anything.
Um,
So yeah, that's that, mate. What are your main like memories from the prep? What are your main sort of take homes from it now?
Again, it was just teaching me how to actually kind of work hard. And I'm very grateful for it in that sense. Again, prep is what you make it. I've got a story, sorry, a story. I've got a post like one of the infographic ones coming out soon about mindset within it. You can either moan and greet and make it terrible and have bad memories on it, or you can, accept the bad and the goods, make the most of it, enjoy it, make some good memories, which we most definitely did. It kind of gave me a little bit of confidence in what I'd done. I went into that season thinking that like I've not earned the right to be in a bodybuilding show. Like I've not done this for years. Obviously not fucking massive. I weigh very little. I genuinely thought I was going to be one of those guys that just looks massively out of place on stage. But when you put some, hard effort into something, you do it consistently, then you never really know what's going to come out of it. Because if I didn't improve my training like I did, and if I didn't apply myself like I did, I wouldn't have done any of that stuff. It's just
Nobody
that,
gets anywhere near that condition if you're not really on the ball. Like it's
yeah,
impossible
like
to get anywhere near in that condition if you are, even if, not going to say if you slip up once, but if you have that mentality where you allow yourself to slip up, you're not
yeah,
getting in that condition.
yeah, you need to again kind of put the blinkers on in the sense that you're not thinking about eating off plan. Like I remember, like if my family would get a Chinese in or something, I would go up to the salt and chili chips right up to my nose, smell them, put them down, done. That's me. That was my satisfaction from it. But there was never once like, should I pick at that? Should I to have a little bit of it? No one's
Even
gonna.
like when you were having like high days or refeeds, a lot of the time for you it would be like, right, you've got 1,500 calories, like have what you want. And
Yeah,
you would be like so meticulous with it with Nando's, or you'd be like, can I fit this in? And I'd be like, make sure it's within the 1,500 calories. And you'd like
yeah,
always be so meticulous with it.
yeah.
Whereas like some
Five
people would be
guys, like.
like, oh, he said I can have, a bit more food. I'll just have what I want.
Yeah, like five guys. I remember bringing my scales with me to weigh out the ketchup, to weigh out the chips, to track that all. Like you do need to, again, that sounds ridiculous, but in prep, like you need to be on the ball with this shit. Otherwise, there's areas where you're not standardizing it, that's not staying consistent, and then you're not getting good data, and you can't nail what you want to from there. Like just everything in general, like even going into sessions. you can't fucking feel sorry for yourself either. Like I remember going into some sessions just thinking like I feel like death, I've got no energy. But as soon as you say for you slap the back of the leg press, I like if we slap the back of the leg press now, or when I hit my straps off the bar, whatever it may be, like that flip, it needs to fucking switch. Or that switch needs to flip, whatever it goes. But yeah, like you need to make sure that you are actually there and you're applying yourself well, and it goes back to what I was saying with you're not thinking too much and overthinking about how you feel and just instead cracking on and doing it. That doesn't mean obviously don't communicate with your coach. As I say, there's a fine line between that. But yeah, like if you push yourself within a prep, I think you can learn a lot about yourself. And it definitely made myself learn a lot about, or me learn a lot about myself, sorry. So I think that's the main things. You got anything from your sides? Anything that you've seen from an objective standpoint? Or listen at from the outside a little bit?
Um, I would probably say, obviously, when it comes to like, I'd probably say the most successful athletes within a prep are the ones who you have to hold them back a little bit. You know what I mean? So like the ones who you know for a fact it's like there's no chance. Like I knew for a fact there's no chance that you weren't doing what I asked, and I knew for a fact that you wouldn't take the piss. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be like where you'd go to the gym and just like have a half-hour session and then not tell me if it was shit. Like you wouldn't take the piss. You would, if anything, need holding back and need feeding up because you were losing too quickly because you were nailing everything. And sometimes people will even do more, do a bit more cardio or more steps, or like I guarantee you were the type to see how many calories you could burn in your cardio session, like because you wanted to push yourself. Yeah, they're usually the most successful athletes, but only if they actually communicate it. So you'd probably say to me, like, "Oh, mate, I did this on the bike," and I'd be like, "That's not the goal. Remember, like, we don't need to be trying to burn as many calories as you can. Hit your goal. That's it." Um, so
Yeah,
yeah,
like
I'd say
well, between shows, like I was wanting to fucking balls to the wall, send it when I had a show literally 7 days after, and you're like, no, pull back, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake,
yeah, but
just
exactly, like you
and
got to like
can
the clients where you've almost got to put the brakes on and try and hold them back a bit are usually the ones who, if they listen, and I'm not saying that like clients who aren't successful just push themselves too hard or whatever it may be, but like again, like you listened when I said, mate, leave a couple of reps in reserve. Like you don't need to be battering yourself on a deadlift. You've got a show in 5 days. You would listen. You wouldn't go and do it anyway, and then feel like shit for it. So like listening when even when you don't think it's right, like you're paying someone for their advice. Like ask for
again,
their advice,
yeah,
take it on board. It also saves you stress. And if you're thinking, why? Ask. If you would say to me, why? I want a deadlift. I want to get after it. And then I'd explain why we're not going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, so like those kind of things. But yeah, I'm thinking of like, yourself, Matt, even like Jerome last year, Owen Tennant, like these are all people who, no matter what, like I know for a fact that they were doing everything I asked and sometimes more, even if I didn't want them to do more. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying that that means a successful athlete is someone who does more than they're asked, but it's someone who you usually have to pull them back, or you know for a fact that they will not slip up and they're not missing a beat. And if they if
yeah,
they did if they did miss a beat, they would communicate about it and be like, "Oh, mate, this happened. Like, what should we do?"
yeah. It's that guilty conscience as well for me. Like, if I fucking had an extra, if I went into the cupboard and the Nutella was there and I had a scoop of it, I would be like in turmoil. Like, what have I done? Why have I done that? I
100%.
need to fin. Like, if you don't care about things, I'm not saying you need to care about things that much, but like there kind of does need to be that level of
Oh,
like,
100%. Like,
uh,
I honestly think if I'm not going to say there's no recovery from it, but like there's no recovery from it if you can't own up to it. So if you slip up
like cheating on your
within
missus,
anything,
I think.
yeah,
Like,
mate,
say,
100%.
it's the analogy that I'll usually use. Like, if you cheat on your missus, the relationship isn't over. Like, depending on if you can work through it, this and that, but it's a bit fucked. Like,
It's not the
always
same.
it's always
Yeah.
there. And this is a crazy take as well, but I think people that cheat on their missus are people that cheat on their diets and shit, and don't feel bad for it because it's the
Yeah.
same thing. They don't have that like those morals where it's like the way that I relate it. You're in prep, you're fucking starving, and there's a Chinese in front of you.
You
And
just
you're
eat
like,
it.
yeah, and it's the same. It's the same as like, oh, you've got a girlfriend, but you're out drinking the fucking fittest bird ever's in front of you. And you're like, oh, fuck it. Like it's that same mindset. Like you need to
Yeah.
you need to stick to your words. Like if you say you're not going to do something, don't fucking do it. Like, and if you're not feeling guilty about doing that, if you're not feeling guilty about eating the meal, like there's something wrong there. Like you need to care more about
That's
whatever it is.
something to like you have to work on that. Like
Yeah,
100% work on it in other phases of even diet phases, gaining phases, like work on it in your everyday life, like set goals, tick them off. If you don't tick them off, I'm not saying punish yourself, but almost like set reward systems so that if you do what you've said you're going to do, it's a win. And if you
yeah,
don't, then there is almost like somewhat of a consequence. Yeah, it doesn't have
yeah.
to be anything like horrendous. You don't need to start like doing anything like torturing yourself, but like there should be like, right, I'm going to do this by this point, and then I can play on my PlayStation for 2 games of FIFA. But I've got to do it when all my check-ins are done. Or
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this by this point, and then I'm going out for a date night with my girlfriend. But I've got to be done by 7 p.m. because we've got a meal at half 7. And if I'm not done by then, like I'm not going, or I'll be stressed out when I go because I've got work to do. Like little things like that you got to then transfer to prep from everyday life and vice versa. But
Mindset
yeah,
really is the biggest kind of part of it, and I think it's something that's massive, like the philosophy side of it and all that with work ethic, and people always have this voice in their head that's telling them to just chill out, to like not really do anything, to relax. Then the one that's telling them to just go for it, go for it, go for it. Like listen to the go for it, go for it, go for it more, and stop listening to the just chill out, just relax. Because the more that you build up that kind of like rhythm and that care for your training, the more that you don't want to drop it. Like, cause I was in prep and I'd got so far, I was like, I'm not even thinking about ruining it now because all the effort I put in before, like it's ruined if I eat this or if I do that or if I don't stick to the
and
plan.
you carry that on into post show, into off
Yeah,
season, like because of the standards that you've set. If you then don't think, I think a lot of people think prep ends and that's it. If you think that there isn't really an end point, like obviously there is, but if
yeah.
you think as soon as I step off stage from my last show, prep's over. Thank God I get to do this, do that. Like if you think like the post show phase is part of it all, like the post show recovery phase, maybe for 1 to 2 months post show, like that's still prep. You're still prepping. You're just not competing anymore. Like, and then if you think of it like that, it allows you to continue sort of with those standards that you set within a prep that are usually really, really high. But yeah, we'll
Me
wrap
and
it up, mate, because we said we'd be
I was
done
gonna
for
say,
7:45.
that's
It's 8:25. So, but it was a good chat, and I think it'll be valuable. Do you think post it on YouTube as well?
possibly, yeah. I think it does like cover a lot of good, valuable shit. So,
The reason we're
I'd-
saying that, guys, if you are on YouTube, we do these for the Natural Physique Hub. So basically, every week we have a podcast on the Natural Physique Hub, which is a portal for all of our clients, myself, Josh, Noah, and Matt's posing clients as well. So we put out content like this. Usually it is all four of us, if all four of us can make it, and we obviously just have a chat. We sometimes will go through specific topics. We've had like our why within bodybuilding and mistakes that we've made and things like that. So now and again, we'll post one of those onto YouTube, hence this one.
stick.
All
Cool.
good? Cool.
Perfect.
Right, we'll leave it there. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate you as always. If anybody has any questions, any comments, feel free to ask myself, Josh, in the comments below or message us on Instagram. For if anybody does want to inquire about coaching, we'll leave the type form below. But again, if you want any other information, have a look on our Instagrams, ask away. You can follow the Natural Physique Coaching page and see, client results and everything on there as well. So yeah, that is all, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See ya.